Welcome to our final episode in our Can It Contend series for the 2024 Oscars season. Though it's a bittersweet end to this exciting award season, our excitement and energy is always at a high at the week surrounding the Oscars. And of course, joining me is our returning guest host all the way from Australia. It is Mr. Jacob Cunningham. How's it going, dude?
Always a pleasure to be joining you here, Gal. Calling me a host here today might be a bit of a stretch because I just got off a plane and I'm very tired and delirious, but I'm sure I can pull something out of my ass to talk about the Oscars because I live and breathe for this shit. So, yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
And joining me is another Aussie film lover calling in from Brisbane. Finally coming to the feature Fanatics is the movie watching girl on Instagram, Ashlee Pradella. How are you today, Ashlee?
I'm great, thank you. Yeah, very excited to be here to chat all things Oscars. I'm like obsessed, so yeah, excited.
Yeah, as you can tell from the Barbenheimer shirt. Um,
Yeah. Big fan.
so yeah, guys, how do we feel after this ceremony ended? We feeling good, bittersweet, exhausted?
Always
Um,
exhausted, but this one didn't feel too bloated. Like, as just an actual show, I think it was one of the best ones in a while.
Agreed. Yeah, I thought the show was really, really well done. Everyone pretty much won that I wanted to win, so that was really exciting. And yeah, I feel like it didn't feel that long. I actually think that they had like some time at the end. Am I wrong? I don't know if you guys know that stat,
I mean, it
but
might have just been Kimmel doing a bit, but it definitely ran shorter than
yeah,
usual.
right. So.
Yeah,
And
I
like,
definitely felt like short enough where you're not like, okay, let's go to best picture. It kind of felt like, oh, we
Yeah.
only have actor and actress left, let's go. Like
yeah, they
Yeah,
quite
it
which
came
often like
around
really
really, really
rushed through those
quickly.
last four categories, but it ran pretty smoothly. No terrible bits of filler. Most of the presenters were really funny. Kimmel isn't great, but he got the job done, I think. I'd like to see someone else host next time, but
I enjoyed his monologue, but I feel like ABC is like a little too scared that whoever else will be a risk, and they have Jimmy Kimmel already on their channel, so they're like, let's sign with him again. We really need to do something safe so we won't lose too many more viewers. um I feel like Kimmel did a good job with the monologue, but I'd love to see someone else step in that we've never seen host an awards show.
you
Even
know
like
who my
Issa Rae
pick
was
is?
presenting, or Kate McKinnon. I was like, they would do
Oh, she
great.
was great. Yeah, yeah. She'd be really good. Obviously,
We
everyone's talking
need
about
John
John
Mulaney.
Mulaney. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, John Mulaney. I loved his bit so much.
we need him to
Um,
host.
I haven't even seen Madam Web yet, but when he dropped that line from the trailer, that
You're one
killed
of
me.
the
And then
lucky
he
ones,
just went
Gal.
on about Field of Dreams, which is the most random thing I thought would happen at the Oscars, but a very welcome kind of random, because that's a great movie.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
upset that line wasn't in Madam Web, so I was happy to see
I know.
Mulaney
What the
shout it
hell,
out
right?
there.
Oh, it
Like,
wasn't
as
in
if
the
it was,
movie?
No, it
not
wasn't in
even
the
you haven't
movie. They
seen
probably
it.
heard the reaction and like took it out or something. It's
Like,
kind
for
of
the
there in
memes, it should have
bits
been in
and
there.
pieces. But yeah, anyway, this isn't the Madam Web podcast, but if you do one, I will definitely join you for it.
How did we go from the Oscars to Madam Web?
It was
Well, it
brought up
was
like
mentioned
3 times on the
two times,
show.
I thought it was, yeah. But I
Yeah,
was like,
no,
wow,
that's
this has
Yeah.
true.
been mentioned more times than what, like Asteroid City, like plenty of great movies from last
Pour
year.
one out for
But
Asteroid
yeah.
City.
And Jimmy Kimmel apparently made an enemy out of the online Transformers fan base, which I don't know why the Transformers fan base is defending Rise of the Beasts necessarily,
I
but you
actually
know, you do
liked that
you.
movie, and that still made me laugh a lot.
But yeah, Messi actually made it to the ceremony, which I was scared that he
Thank
wouldn't,
God.
because yeah, he stole the show.
Oh,
But
seeing him
apparently,
clap for Robert Downey Jr. incredible.
did you guys see the behind the scenes? They got like a props guy to bring the fake arms to do
Yeah,
the
it's like some
clapping.
guy underneath him clapping. It was so funny.
Wait,
It's
you
like
mean the dog
ruining the
wasn't actually
magic.
clapping?
Well, I
Bullshit.
actually thought maybe they were getting his paws and like doing it, but obviously that was
I thought that at
stupid.
first,
I
but
feel
then
like
it's
if
like, no,
they're
he's sitting way too still for that to have
Yeah.
worked. But that dog can
yeah,
act.
I feel like
The
if there's
host
like a
of,
BTS of Justine Trier like directing him to clap, they'll be like, okay, best director Justine Trier because she directed a dog. Nolan didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know why people did they think the dog was gonna like influence people to vote for the movie? Like voting's done. It's over. Just let the dog hang
If you
out.
complain about a dog, then you should be the one getting a ban.
Oof.
All right, so do we
That's
want
all
to
I'll
talk
say.
about some actual awards?
Yeah,
Let's
first
do
of
it.
all, we got a lot of below the line categories that were mostly split between Oppenheimer and Poor Things, and I think all of those wins were deserved. There were two specifically that I disagreed with, but I'd like to hear what you guys thought of the more technical and below the line categories as well.
Well, let's get to the hot takes. Let's get to what you disagreed with.
Yeah, I need to hear this.
Well, I don't think this is a hot take,
If
but
anything you
was really
disagree with is
hoping
a Poor
that
Things win, I'll be annoyed.
I actually agree with all of the Poor Things wins, but Spider-Verse I was really hoping would win animated.
I was really
But that's also because I
upset
haven't
about
seen
that
The Boy
too.
and the Heron.
Well, you have no
I
rights,
also
sir. You have
haven't
no
seen
right.
it,
Yeah.
but I have a reason behind not seeing it. I'm scared of some of the animals that are in the film, so I refuse to watch it.
Those
But, like,
parakeets
Scared
are
of
pretty
herons.
freaky.
No.
I'm not even going to mention it because I don't want to get like spammed by this animal. But like, no,
I'm
it
gonna have to
was
figure it out now.
no, there's no way you can figure this out. But
Pelicans.
like, yeah, I just feel like Spider-Man, like, I'm
Herons.
sorry, it is honestly one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Like what they did, like visually in that movie with the animation alone, if you don't even take the amazing storyline into it, like that, it's just on another level. And I understand that Miyazaki is like a legend and everything, but like, you know what? This movie was better. I'm sorry. I know I haven't seen The Boy and the
This
Heron, but
movie
I
was
know,
better. You haven't
I
seen. Well,
know it's better.
allow
I
me,
also
someone
just-
who
Is it
has
better-
seen
okay,
The
is
Boy
it
and the
better than
Heron.
Spirited Away? Is it better than Spirited Away? Because
No,
I've
nothing
seen
is.
that.
Spirited Away is the greatest animated film of all time.
I'm also
Exactly,
just
though.
like,
I feel
unlike
like
you,
the
Jacob.
Spider-Verse is like number 2. So, sorry, Gal, go.
No, I was gonna say, unlike actually, I don't know how you are in general about Studio Ghibli and anime. I'm like the last person you want to come to when it comes to like knowledge and raving about those movies. Not because I dislike them, I appreciate them. I enjoy some of them, but in terms of the pacing, they're not always for me. Even though I do think they're good films overall. Jacob's definitely more in the popular. Spirited Away is one of the GOAT movies pack, which I respect, and I
it
wish
is
I was
my
on
favorite
that.
animated film. But Boy and the Heron, I love too. It's not like the greatest Ghibli film ever, but it is my favorite animated film of the year. So I was a part of a small chorus cheering gleefully when that did win the Oscar because I really didn't. I'm still shocked it happened because again, I don't see the popularity for that film, and I know it alienates and confuses a lot of people. But I think it's great to see the Academy embracing some
That's
more
what I don't
international
even get. Is
flavor
it so many
with
people?
that and Zone of Interest winning sound and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very happy it won.
It was an
I think
amazing
it's
win.
A lot better than Spider-Verse.
I do
but
kind of
that
wish
was incredible.
like I was very much expecting Kent Bowers to win though, because like he had been nominated for One Night in Miami and arguably maybe should have won for that. So he's just such a cool creator. He also co-directed Soul, so I'm sure he's gonna do something down the line that'll get him an Oscar win.
But it's an interesting there's an interesting Oscar stat to look at that no film and its direct sequel have ever both won Best Animated Feature, and it really
Toy
looks
Story
like
3 and
Spider-Verse
4,
was
I was
but
gonna
those
say,
are
what about
the third and fourth
sequel.
film.
Direct sequel.
Yeah, like there hasn't been a 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Which also I hate that No How to Train Your Dragon movie won this. But
I agree with you there.
the second one should have won, but that's a different story.
Dragon 2 was
I don't know. I just feel like when these movies are so good, how can you not reward them? And people are like, oh, well, they're waiting to reward the third one. Like, no, I'm sorry. This is a good movie.
No,
Reward it.
Boy and the
It
Heron's
just
better.
annoys me.
In my man. And
I
just on
can't
the
really
animation,
put that
like,
because I haven't seen it, but I generally think Spider-Verse, when it comes to ambition and beauty,
or Boy and the Heron has like incredible jaw-dropping animation as well. So, like, I mean, on that front, I think they're both doing incredible.
I'm not going to argue with you.
That is one of the best.
I'm not going to argue with you because, like, I'm sure, like, I'm just not as much in the Studio Ghibli camp, so maybe one is objectively better than the other. But I already know that Across the Spider-Verse is more my kind of movie.
I mean, yeah.
Spider-Verse, I love. I just think it's half a movie. That's like my only.
But like, who cares? I don't care about that. Like, what about like June 2? Like, should that not get nominated?
About Dead
win
Reckoning.
anything? Like, yeah, I don't know. I just get frustrated by that
Yeah, like first
narrative.
Dune won a bunch of.
Well, it's not so much that, it's that I didn't find anything emotionally satisfying about the conclusion of that, whereas maybe stuff like Dune
I
and Godzilla
actually,
and
when I
Colorado
rewatched
sort of
Across the
worked for me a bit
Spider-Verse,
better in that regard.
when I rewatched Across the Spider-Verse, I did find that there was something emotionally satisfying at the end. But
Boy in
thought
the
the
head
that's a
whole thing was
whole
me
emotional,
spoiler
but
that we
that's
could
just
get
me.
into.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we've
no, it
gone on
is
long enough
emotional.
about this, but that was something that
It's
was
an award
very.
I'm very passionate about. Yeah. So anyway,
But yeah, I
that
just
was
like
really the only one of the night I was upset about. So
yeah.
I consider myself
But I want to
happy
get
with
back
everything that's
to
happened.
Jacob's point about the zone of interest winning sound. I ultimately think that was the right winner, because talking so much, like seeing, first of all, seeing the movie, but also all the filmmakers talking so specifically about the sound. It's such a different approach in sound from any movie that you've ever done. I could totally see like a sound guild watching that movie and being like, this deserves sound. And I respect that. And plus, like, Oppenheimer would have been a worthy winner too. But I feel like the Nolan sound team wins for like every other movie that Nolan's done.
Rightfully
It's
so.
like the one thing he's not overdue
Hopefully
for.
so.
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't know.
very
Look, I
stoked
wanted
with
to
Zone
see
winning.
like a massive sweep happen, so I was a bit disappointed, but
It
also
won 7
like,
awards.
yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get more. I mean, look, I'm happy that they spread the love a bit, and I think that like it was a really well deserving win, so can't complain.
Yeah, Zone would be my number one for sound. So I didn't think they were quite going to do it, but again, they over the last 3-4 years,
Yeah, it seemed more like a
embracing
BAFTAs thing
more
to
and more
me.
international films, like Anatomy winning screenplay. Like they're just every year they're getting
Or
a little
Godzilla.
bit more international. Godzilla winning visual effects, which was very,
Which was my
That was
other
very
disappointment.
awesome.
I would have
What?
given it to the
Really?
creator, but Godzilla's my
Because
number
I just
two,
really
so I'm
wanted
not
the
gonna
creator to
complain.
win.
Yeah,
Why are you guys so into the creator? What? I just didn't
it's a
realize there's
great
like a
movie.
Because
hive
it's
of the creator
fire.
going around.
It's like
Because
a
it's
4.5 for me. I
awesome.
love
No,
it.
I don't. It was
I love the
fine.
creator.
It was
I'm a big
okay.
Gareth Edwards fan. I'm a big fan of
He's
the way
great.
his movies look and feel. So I'm just
It
totally
was
into that.
just,
Speaking
look,
of
I think I
Godzilla
was just,
movies, I'm a big fan
yeah,
of his.
let down. I haven't
Yeah,
actually seen Godzilla. It's like the one film I haven't seen, so it's really depressing.
Talk about a
I was happy
franchise
for
that
the
had a
win.
fall from grace.
and
But that's a different story.
I'm glad to see them recognize like a narrative, a film with a small, doing a lot with a little, because they haven't really done that since Ex Machina in terms of recognizing
That's
something
like the
with a lower
comparison that came
budget.
into my
I was
head.
very bummed that Everything Everywhere didn't get a VFX nom last year, because I think that had a great story behind it too. But no, Godzilla,
Mhm.
very cool winner. And I love that the crew all had Godzilla figures with them.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
shoes,
that
so
was the sweetest
fun.
thing. That was definitely the sweetest thing. When they brought the Godzilla toys with them. And Arnold's voice, like, I don't know, something about his accent was like Godzilla, like, and then everyone just going wild in the crowd. Like his accent will always be
That was one of the
legendary.
greatest moments of the show. But I guess we'll get to like speeches and stuff like that after. But I guess on the technical stuff still, this Poor Thing sweep was kind of unexpected, but I was really, really happy to
Unexpected,
see it
but
take
yeah, I loved
those.
it.
And it just reinforces more like makeup correlating with an acting win, because everyone was like, oh, Maestro's going to win makeup and
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper's going to win actor. And we still kind of picked Maestro, even though he wasn't winning actor. But then, bang, Poor Things makeup, Emma Stone wins Best Actress. So very, very good stat to use for
I think it's
predicting
like, yeah,
acting
the
awards.
Maestro, I don't know, like hate campaign was just maybe too strong for this movie. Like, I didn't think that would really affect the voters that much, but like, I don't know. I feel like it really seems to have because, like, it was a worthy win for a makeup category, I thought. I mean, I'm really glad that it went to Poor Things, but yeah.
Yeah, I think they both
I
had
feel like
great
Bradley
makeup. I
Cooper
think
could have
Poor
won in a
Things.
different year, but
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I just think that,
it's 12
yeah,
for O.
they just didn't really like Maestro, obviously. Or that, more so
Well,
that
they
they didn't
nominated
like
it
it,
7
but they
times, but
loved
yeah.
Poor Things, I think. And I think
Yeah, I
that's,
think the passion, there's probably a difference between the nominations voting period and then the actual winner voting period and screening films. So probably the passion for Maestro and maybe even Killers of the Flower Moon was exchanged in favor of Poor Things and even the Zone of Interest.
Yeah, I actually think if the nominations happened like a little bit later, Zone of Interest would have gotten even more noms. Like it could have snuck in because the hype was just building and building. I think if it happened a little later, it could have even gotten in for like
Hmm.
Yeah, they released it
production
so late, like
design,
no one had even seen it.
cinematography. Because it did very like that unexpected sound win definitely showed there was a lot of passion for it. But yeah, Poor Things is my favorite of the crop, so I was so stoked to see it take those 3 tech awards in a row. I
So
would have
when it,
given Barbie costumes, but I was still very
me
happy
too.
to see Poor Things win it.
Actually, I would have given Poor Things costumes, but I would have been fine with either. But I kind of love that Poor
Barbie
Things
for
has 4
costume.
Oscars, even in the Oppie
Incredible.
year.
Considering even going in, I was worried it might have gotten 0. I predicted
Because
it for a
like,
couple,
Yeah, it's like it
but
could get
there
5
was
or
definitely a
0.
world where it could have gotten 0.
yeah, I said 2, maybe 3 if Emma Stone wins. So I'm really glad that even in the year of us going crazy about Oppenheimer, Poor Things managed to be one of the most awarded films of the 2020s so far.
I
Do
think
we
it should
It's
have
think?
won
respect.
score and cinematography too, but that's a chat for another
No,
day.
no, no. I was going to say, do we
I
think that
disagree,
Poor
but
Things was the runner-up to Best Picture? I don't know if this is something you want to
Oh,
talk
yes,
about when we get
absolutely.
there,
yes.
but it
Absolutely.
seems like it was the number 2 of the night. So,
Yeah.
I think in any other year, Yorgos would have been like he would have won directing for Flying Colors. Um,
I
but
really
yeah, I
think
feel like no,
the
go
top
ahead.
5 might honestly, at this point, the way the hype went, I think Anatomy of a Fall would have been close to that top 3 as well.
I
That
agree.
and Zone. And
yeah,
then probably the
Zone, Poor
holdovers pretty
Things.
strong.
I think
Maybe
in terms of
the Holdovers didn't get
screenplay,
anything in the end, right?
It
Yeah.
won
got
Divine
Oh no,
Divine
supporting.
Divine,
both
Divine. Yeah,
won.
yeah, yeah.
It
They
initially
won.
looked like it was going to win screenplay, but then it did cool off a little bit, and it might have been awkward if it won screenplay with these plagiarism allegations. But
Oh
again,
yeah, that literally came out like the
Look at
day
that coming
of. I
out
was
to,
just like,
but like
Jake.
the voting was already submitted, I think, by March 3rd. I don't know.
oh yeah,
That would have been
it was
funny though for
well
press.
done.
But on the
But
subject of screenplay, so I was very interested. This is an interesting topic because, first of all, like you guys said, Anatomy of a Fall, I think the hype kept going up and it kept getting like more love from both the industry and just the audiences. So I think they had to give it something somewhere. And I think it was a deserving win, even though my heart does lie with Past Lives. But I think it's funny that you mentioned that because I think the kind of winners that they give screenplays to has kind of changed in the last couple of years. Because if this lineup was even in the early 2000s or the 90s, the holdovers probably would have won screenplay. But I think now they give it less solely based on dialogue and also on thematic merit and like a passionate narrative, which is why going in like Anatomy of a Fall and Past Lives were more likely. Even like American Fiction winning, I feel like is something that Black Klansman, Jojo Rabbit, etc. paved the way for because of like something modern and audacious rather than in the 90s or so on. Oppenheimer could have easily won adapted screenplay.
Yeah, American
Yeah, I'm
Fiction is like
surprised
a
it didn't win, to be honest.
textbook example of the kind of stuff that wins that now. Like something creative, something a bit comedic, genre-y. They give it to a lot of debuts,
Yeah, like
writer
Jordan Peele.
directors. Yeah, and it's like it's a film about writing, so that helped its case too. It's probably my least favorite of the category, but that I love American Fiction. It's just a really, really strong category.
I honestly really like that win, and I love Cord Jefferson, and I loved his
Yeah, he was
speech.
so cool and he gave a great speech. Yeah,
I got to
so
see him speak at TIFF, and he just seems like a really cool, down to earth guy.
jealous.
Yeah, no, that was a very that
The
being at
next
that
Jordan
premiere, you're
Peele.
like, okay, this movie's gonna be a thing. People are going nuts for it. And again, I absolutely love the movie. It's just such a strong crop that it happens to be on the lower end
I
for
liked
me.
it. I didn't love it, but like, yeah, it was good.
I would have loved Poor Things to win this, but alas, Tony McNamara has been robbed twice now. Rest in peace, the favorite. Rest in peace, Poor Things. One day you'll win a screenplay Oscar.
Indeed,
Tony.
indeed.
But at least it lost to something good, whereas the favorite lost to Green Book.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
The hits keep coming with that one. Oh.
Yeah. I'm so glad we've moved past the Green Book era. They've been getting it right a lot the last few years.
I agree. Like the past few years have been really nice. Like just everything has been good. I feel like all these new members of the Academy have really helped. So let's hope that it stays that way. So stressed. But yeah, it was a great year.
Yeah, anyway, acting, I feel like, was a lock for both supporting actor and supporting actress. They kind of swept throughout every single relevant ceremony. Uh, Davine and Robert Downey Jr. Going home very ceremoniously. What do we think ultimately of these winners? Would they be our picks?
I don't know if you'll find a single person who doesn't think Divine should have won. She's
You
Yeah,
mean
she was
shouldn't
incredible.
have won?
amazing.
She was, yeah, I think it was kind of a no brainer, the biggest no brainer
It's a
of the
sweep where
bunch.
you're like, good. She should sweep. She has to.
Yeah, no, she was like the heart and soul of that movie, and yeah,
And she's
absolutely
been
loved
great
her.
for like so long. She almost got nominated for Dolomite Is My Name, I think, which sort
Yeah,
of
yeah,
put her on the
yeah.
map.
I was
So
surprised she didn't get nominated for that.
She was great in
But
that.
it's great to see her, and it's going to be great to see where her career goes after this. Hopefully, maybe get some lead roles.
Puss in
yeah,
Boots
I
3.
think I heard somewhere that she, like on a podcast, that like she's already booked like a role somewhere, like a big role. So fingers
Awesome.
crossed if that was true. Yeah, maybe it was Lily. Hopefully they both got it. I don't know, but yeah,
Lily needs to be up there. I mean, we'll talk about Lily as well. I'm glad Emma Stone won, but Lily's an incredible actress. I think she should have won an Oscar for Certain Women, which is an incredible film that I
Still
recommend
haven't seen
if
that.
anyone out there
You know what?
hasn't
Let's get
seen
into
me
it.
Best
neither.
Actress. I feel like this is the one that I was most like itching to with excitement to find out, because genuinely, before Michelle Yeoh opened that envelope, I was like, okay, this could be 50-50. I think it'll be Lily Gladstone, but this could go either way. And it's been a while since I felt that uncertain about a lead actor winner. Maybe since like the Anthony Hopkins upset. So I was very happy that it was Emma Stone still, and I was surprised in a very delightful way. But I definitely thought it was going to be Lily Gladstone.
Who did
Like,
you? So
and I
did
was
you
ready
guys
for a
both
good
predict
speech.
Lily?
I
I predicted
definitely
Lily.
yeah, Lily was my prediction. And like what was so weird about this was that they kind of like split this, they didn't sweep, no one swept, obviously they split the whole kind of season. But everyone was still kind of going for
Hmm.
Lily. I'm like surprised that there wasn't more people going for Emma.
I
Anyway, it
predicted
just
Emma.
yeah, but I
I
mean, you love
stayed
Poor
strong
Things. I'm
with
glad
my
that you
girl.
did, and I should have done that. I don't know. When I watched the SAG Awards, I could just feel this like momentum in the room. Like it just lit up. Everyone was so happy about Lily, and I was like, I
Hmm.
think this is it. And anyway, I was wrong because I do truly think that Emma gives a better performance. I mean, I
Hmm.
think that Lily gives a great performance, but I don't really like Killers of the Flower Moon that much. I think that she really is a supporting performance, and she does spend a lot of it in bed. That's just my opinion. So yeah, I think that what I personally believe is one of the best performances that I've ever witnessed before in Emma Stone was rightful to win, and I'm really glad she did.
Now
Just
we
me.
are
Yeah, I
back on
think.
the same team, Ashlee. I
Yeah.
think, I mean, I'd have to go back and think, but I think Stone's Work and Poor Things might just be my favorite performance of the decade so far. So the relief and joy I felt seeing her take that second Oscar made me very happy.
Yeah, I mean,
Do
personally,
you
and like
guys think?
I'm the biggest La La Land fan ever, but I actually think that she just delivers a better performance in this movie.
Right.
She just keeps
So
getting
yeah.
better.
Oh, I think
The
she's like our
favorite I thought
greatest
was her
like
best performance until
current
this, and
actor.
now she's topped
Yeah,
it
yeah,
again.
for sure.
Do you guys
And she's
think
got a
that's
new
what
one coming out
maybe
with Lord
gave her
Yoga.
the edge?
Oh, sorry,
Do you
What,
guys
Ashley.
think
sorry?
what gave her the edge ultimately was people debating if Lily should be lead or supporting? Because I feel like I agree with you at the SAG Awards. That's an important precursor these days, and she had that similar like Michelle Yeoh sort of narrative in terms of like representation in her lead role. I again, I'm on the same team with Emma Stone as you guys, but I'm wondering like was that maybe one of the factors that played into it besides Emma
I'm
Stone being
sure that
amazing?
that probably helped, like as part of it. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it might have more come down to just the fact that like Stone is her movie, whereas
Mm-hmm.
Lily, as you know, as great as she isn't at the forefront of that movie. I think there are like a couple of like 20-minute stretches where she's not on screen at all, and it becomes the Leo show. I do think she's great in the movie. I would have loved to see what happened if she went supporting, because that's like 2 years in a row now that a
I feel like
guaranteed
she would have
supporting
won if
winner has
she'd done
gone
that,
lead.
Lily
but
would have won supporting for sure.
Yeah. So it's really, I mean, but at the same time, I respect, because it might have even been her decision to say, no, I'm the lead actress of this movie and I'd like to be campaigned that way, which I also think is like totally
Which I
valid, even though
prefer.
I do think I mean, she's the lead actress, but I do think it's a supporting performance in terms of screen time. So it is a tricky one. But yeah, it might just come down to Stone's performance is just so big and just so undeniable, I think, which is kind of what people thought about Blanchett in Tar last time. But I just think Yo had
I think Emma Stone was way better than Cate Blanchett in Tar.
Oh, same.
I love Tar.
Yeah,
I love
for
Tar,
sure.
but I thought Emma Stone was even better.
Oh,
in
I
this
was
movie.
Team Michelle Yeoh last year as well. Like, so I'm glad.
I think Emma Stone is one of the best female winners in this category ever. Like, I don't know. I just, like I said, one of the best performances I feel like I've ever witnessed. So both her and Killian, I just feel like it was like a good year for me. Like in that regard, that I was like, these are just two of the greatest performances of all time, honestly. So
yeah, Killian. I mean, I know I keep shitting on Oppenheimer, and by shitting I mean, I wouldn't have given it 7. I would have given it like maybe 3. I still love it, but Killian was my favorite lead actor of the year, and I'm stoked that he got the win. He
yeah, for
absolutely
sure.
shoulders that movie. And even after this win, I still think sometimes he doesn't get enough credit for how much he carries that movie on his head. He's got a huge cast around him, but he is in like every scene. There's so
Literally
many
everything.
close-ups
Yeah.
that are just burned into your soul. The way he plays all the different ranges and time periods of the character,
And it's a pretty like nuanced role as well, where like it's obviously not like a massive performance, like big, like the way Emma Stone's is, for example. And I think that was like why, like a lot of reason why a lot of people are like, oh, this isn't going to win an Oscar. And I'm just like, well, you don't have to do that. Like, I don't know.
You do sometimes. Last year you did. Brendan Fraser, who I agree.
I think it's a change of pace from Fraser's performance, or like Will Smith in King Richard, or Joaquin in Joker. Because, you know, Bradley Cooper's a lot more extra in that film, and I love him in Maestro. But Killian, like you said, is a lot more restrained. Actually, my favorite moment in his performance in Oppenheimer is after the explosion in the Trinity test, and he's kind of just looking onward in disbelief, and he like has these exhales, and that's much more subtle than what we see from most Best Actor winners.
It is so much more powerful watching someone try to hide their emotions rather than watching someone like screaming and yelling. Like Bradley Cooper's great, but I just didn't feel that it didn't sink its hooks into me emotionally the way Killian did. So yes, we agree. Great lead actor winners. I mean, all the acting categories I think are really great. I wouldn't have nominated RDJ, but he is great in the movie.
He's
and
amazing.
I'm happy he's an Oscar winner.
RDJ deserves at least a nomination. Come on.
Justice for Glenn Howerton. Justice for Glenn Howerton.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I'm totally there with you, but I probably would have bumped someone else. I don't know who, because I actually think it was a really good category, but...
I would have bumped Gosling for Charles Melton, but Gosling was great too.
How could you even say that? He's like an insane.
Gosling's awesome in that movie, but like just in terms
Gosling's
of
my number
Oscars,
one.
I don't know, bro.
I wanted him to win.
I mean, like Gosling will definitely win an Oscar at some point, so sure.
Oh,
but,
for
like,
sure,
I think
for
this is
sure.
his best
He's one of my
role
favorites.
ever. So it was just a really good year.
This
yeah,
and
Glenn
the
Howard.
Or I would
was
have
nice.
bumped like De Niro for Willem Dafoe in Poor Things, even.
I would have had Defoe
Yes,
in
yeah.
Over most people too. But it was
I
a
thought
great
De
category.
Niro actually,
overall.
this was his best role in 20 years. Probably since Silver Lining Playbook, whenever that was. So 15.
De Niro is actually my favorite performance in that movie.
Me too.
I was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
happy
Me
to
too.
see him.
Yeah, maybe this is his best role in a while, honestly. It sounds like I'm shitting on these performances. I'm really not.
No, I think it's just we're so passionate about the ones we love. But like, I mean, yeah, like with
Yeah.
It just
like
says what a
RDJ,
great year it was.
It was just phenomenal.
Speaking of Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of Ryan Gosling, he danced the night away. What can we say?
I actually almost like am annoyed that performance was so good, because I feel like it overshadowed like everything to do with Oppenheimer, and I'm just like, this is Christopher Nolan's time, okay, guys. This is
Nolan's
not,
a humble guy.
I
I
don't
don't think
I
he
wasn't
would
there.
want the spotlight on him. You know, he gave a very classy speech and then stepped back and let his producers talk when he won picture. I think he's that type of guy. You know, he'll be honored with the win, and then he'll get back to making whatever crazy film comes next.
Nolan's win is something that I've been waiting for a very long time, especially for this film, especially for directing. It was really cathartic and awesome to see him get his due. It's like one of those wins where a visionary director is finally getting awarded after a long time. Steven Spielberg for Schindler's List, Martin Scorsese for The Departed, Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water. It's great to see him join that club for a Best Director winner that's already so adored by us film lovers for so long.
But I would in no way call it a career award because Oppenheimer is an incredible directorial achievement.
Exactly.
that
I
sort of
agree.
brings
I
together
actually think it's his
all of
best
what he's
movie.
good
I don't
at.
know if you guys agree, but
I think it's his
Oh,
best
still
movie
should
from
have
a
won,
directing
but
perspective
Nolan's a
too.
great
yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's probably actually my favorite movie of his now as well. Like, there's a lot of really good ones. Yeah, like I just am obsessed with the movie, and I think technically it's the best. So look, it rightfully won. I don't think is anyone calling this a career award? Like,
No,
haters.
no, but I was just saying, he's finally one of these directors who's
Yeah,
finally
sure.
has
But
an
he's joined
Oscar.
the club.
But like,
Yeah.
yes, he's overdue.
Oh, I wasn't
but,
saying
like,
that
he
the
won
others
for
didn't
the
deserve
right
it for
thing.
like Schindler's List or The Departed. That's not what I was getting at all.
I know a lot of people say Scorsese's Departed was a career award, but I don't
People
think so
say
about
that, but I'm
movie.
like, okay,
But-
one, the other movies that year were all shit, and two, like that is
Except
my
Babel.
favorite Scorsese movie. Okay, I'm sorry, like
It's one of
don't
his
come
best
at me.
movies for sure. Yeah.
Agree.
I just feel I don't know. They hate on it because Goodfellas lost. So what? The Departed is the consolation prize.
Departed's way better than Goodfellas.
I agree with that 100%. I don't know if everyone else does,
Interesting.
but like it's just frustrating to me.
I have to rewatch them both. But they're both
I'm
I'm
incredible.
like the guy who doesn't really like Goodfellas. I've copped a lot of shit for it over.
Really? I love Goodfellas.
I
don't
Speaking of
like
Scorsese,
it. I
he has
liked it,
3
but
movies that are
struggled
0 for
to get
10
through it.
now, which is
I
crazy.
know.
His fun fact, not so fun fact. Scorsese's last 4 movies are 0 for 26, which is insane. Irishman and Killers went 0 for 10. Silence
over
got
26
1
nominations
nomination and
total.
Lost.
Yeah,
And The Wolf
that
of
is
Wall Street got
crazy.
5 nominations with no wins. Like his last.
How
win
did
was
Wolf
for
of Wall
Hugo.
Street get no wins?
Leo was robbed
That's wild.
for that.
That is
I'll
like
say that.
Yeah,
literally
Leo was robbed.
insane because that is like Leo's best performance, and I can't believe he won for The Revenant. I know you guys like that movie, but ugh.
No, I mean, it is a career win, but I also
No.
think that the only performance I liked better than him in lead that year was Jacob Tremblay in Room, who wasn't nominated. So I was okay with that.
Well,
win.
I
It's not his
don't know who
greatest
else was nominated. I have to
performance,
look that up, but yeah,
Shout out Hugo,
it's
though.
more just that I think it's like it's like my least favorite performance of everything he's been nominated for. So it's just very frustrating. Like, ugh. Anyway, it's all about time.
Shout out Hugo, though. Speaking of Scorsese, which won 5 times before he entered that losing streak.
But you can't even call it a flop here because these are incredible. I think some of these last 4 movies are some of his best work ever. He's just sort of
Killers of the
unluckily
Flower
come up
Moon
against
might
things that were
be,
liked
yeah.
more.
I'm not a big fan of that, but I mean, yeah, if we're going off Wolf of Wall Street, that to me is like my other favorite of his. So I know it's the movie of my time. I don't know. I like some of his.
Hugo
old
is
movies
actually
as
one of my
well,
favorites
but
of his, too.
yeah, I've got to rewatch
Also,
that. I
I'm just
haven't seen
miffed
it since
that-
it came out.
I'm just miffed that
I've seen it like
Silence only
5
got
times.
1 nomination because Silence is a masterpiece, I think.
I know, it's shocking.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
Rodrigo Prieto,
what-
his day will come, but Hoyte, I think, earned it.
I love Hoyt. I'm glad Hoyt is an Oscar winner. I wanted
Oh,
him
is that
to
how you
win
say
for
it, Hoyt?
Dunkirk. I don't know.
The
I'm not an
Australian
authority.
one, apparently.
Should have won for
Hoyt's
Interstellar
silly.
and Nope and... Nah.
All right, have we
So how many
covered
times have you
everything
guys seen
in terms of
Oppenheimer now?
awards?
Last
Twice.
night makes 6 times.
Oh,
I've seen it
that's
twice.
whopping 6 times.
Okay.
I want to do a Poor Things
I think
rewatch
so.
soon. I'm hyped for that.
I've seen that
Wait,
twice.
6 times? Wow.
So, yeah.
I'm planning to watch Oppenheimer again tomorrow with my roommate. I'm just gonna lay out
Cute. Is your roommate just like
Fun.
going through all the Oscar movies or what? Like Tonight American Fiction?
He's seen most of them. I think American Fiction might be the only one he hasn't. So we'll see how that goes. It took ages to come out in Australia. We know the struggle. Ash.
Yeah,
Wow.
like 2 weeks ago or something. Anyway.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Speaking of Oppenheimer, I think Al Pacino will be forever remembered as part of this film's legacy. Someone said they commented on, I think, YouTube, every time Emma Stone wins Best Actress, something crazy happens with Best Picture. Or something silly goes down. Which was so funny. He's all like, I will go to the envelope for that. Here we go. He opens it very slowly. My eyes see Oppenheimer, and I didn't even know what he was saying. I thought he was just making a joke about Oppenheimer. And
was
there was
so
no
annoying,
applause for a
yeah.
second.
Literally, everyone
was-
was like, "Oh, can we celebrate? Have we won?" Like,
And then he
no
said
one
Emma
cared.
Thomas, Charles Robin, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh
I
my
was
God,
fully
yeah.
bracing for him to just be like, and Best Picture goes to Emma Stone.
Yeah.
But
What a
yeah,
guy. Yeah.
it was
That,
still
that
a
was a
great
choice
moment,
for
you
sure.
know.
I wish they'd
And I
chosen someone else to give that award. I mean, I know that
they
he was in
always choose
Insomnia, but
doddering
I
old
was full on
ass dudes
expecting
to
like,
present Best
I
Picture.
know. What about
I love
Christian
hey,
Al
Bale
Pacino.
or
don't let Sean
someone?
Harrison Ford
I love Harrison Ford. He's a bit more put
or
together
Rita
than
Moreno
Pacino.
or all these people. I was fully expecting
But
Christopher Walken or someone to present it, so I'm not surprised they got Al Pacino
it
to
was
do it. But it's
only
funny.
it ended up being okay because I think everybody just knew Oppenheimer was winning, so he at least didn't ruin any suspense because it was a weird anticlimax. But we were like, yeah, Oppenheimer, duh. Like,
They should joke about it next year. That was just a random way to say like, my eyes see Oppenheimer. Like, no, you
someone's
don't. He's
definitely
been
going to say
dead. For...
"My eyes see" when they
Oh,
announce
this
something
poor
next
guy.
year.
He's just an
I love
old
Al
man
Pacino. It
who
was
probably should
hilarious.
have been in bed. Poor
Hey, he's
guy.
a legend.
Yes, he is. It's just
Hooah.
every year they're just choosing
Hooah.
some old person. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
They're always celebrating like anniversaries of things, like Liza Minnelli presenting because of Cabaret, or Rita Moreno presenting because of West Side Story. And I don't know if there was some anniversary for something Al Pacino was in, but they
No,
did
I think
30
it
years
was
with
just
Spielberg
because
presenting director for
well, I think it's
Schindler's.
just because he was in Insomnia, so I assume he like gave it to Nolan for that reason. Like they assumed that Oppenheimer was winning. That was my assumption. I don't
Is he Team Killers or is he Team Oppenheimer? Because he loves working with Scorsese too.
know.
Shout
Good
out
question.
to the
Yeah.
time. Shout out to the time they assumed Chadwick Boseman was going to win Best Actor, and they put it
Oh my
last.
Oh, that
God.
was
Glad
awful.
they're not doing
That
that
was
shit
so
anymore.
awkward. That was sad. Chadwick should
That
have won
was
for sure.
the worst. Yeah.
So yeah, they've improved the show a lot. They've
Because
finally
I'm glad we
started to
haven't
figure
dealt
it
with any
out.
drama like that in what, 2 years? So second year drama
But yeah,
free,
I'm
thank
glad that
God.
Emma Thomas is also acknowledged as one of the important parts of bringing all these Nolan masterpieces to life,
Yeah.
and definitely love that there was, because even like after the La La Land Moonlight mistake, I'm always like I'm not like celebrating so quickly. So I literally waited until there was like Paul Giamatti was on screen after he said, "That's our show, good night," and then there was like a credits, like associated producer, whatever, and I was like, "Oh, okay, we're done. Oppenheimer won, thank God." Like, I need to
That
make
La
sure
La
there's
Land
no
moment still haunts my
shenanigans.
dreams. I
Yep,
was like
nervous.
obsessed with that film even at the time, so that broke my heart. That moment.
Yeah, same.
So do you
I'm
like
glad they
Moonlight? Are
figured it
you
out.
happy that it won?
I love Moonlight. I was angry at it for like 2 years for beating La La Land, but now I can watch it and admire it all the same.
I'm
I
in the
don't
same
think
camp
it's
as
as good
you,
as La La Land, but I think Moonlight's
but
an
it's still an
incredible
important movie.
I think If Bill Street Could Talk is even better, actually. So I was bummed to see that not.
I wouldn't go that far.
We were robbed of Chazelle versus Barry Jenkins round 2, Beale Street and First Man, which
Oh,
is
because they both didn't get
totally
nominated.
shafted. Yeah, like I thought they were 2 of the best films of that year. But that's I digress. I could rant about that shit all day. Have we covered everything in terms of the actual awards?
Anyway, Oppenheimer, it's now a Best Picture winner with 7 wins, which is the same number of wins that EEAAO had last year. Is this our favorite Best Picture winner of the 2020s so far? Or of
Everything Everywhere.
any sort of...
Easily, yes. It's probably like, I think, my second, maybe third favorite of all time, to be honest. So behind The Departed.
Film
I'm
or
not
Best
The
Picture
Departed,
winner?
guys. Yeah.
Best Picture
Like
winner.
Best Picture winner. Yeah.
It's my 26th favorite Best
Oh
Picture winner
wow,
of
I
all
gotta see your
time.
list.
I love it.
Jacob.
There's been a lot of good ones.
I haven't done
but
my
Everything
I
ranking
Everywhere
yet.
is in my top
watched
5.
all
So
of them, but like, yeah, I'd put maybe like Titanic and Departed before it. But yeah, gotta do.
Departed would probably be in my top 5 as well.
I would maybe put Everything Everywhere over, and probably Birdman, but probably then... sorry, Birdman's in the 2010s, but like
Wrong
from
decade, bro.
2010s and 2020s, I'd probably still put Birdman over, and then
But all
Oppenheimer.
really good winners this decade. Like Nomadland's
Yeah.
incredible. I think Coda's the
I know
Mine
Coda
is
started to
wrong.
get a bad rep.
No, was it that was Promising Young
People started
Woman? That should
shitting
have
on
won.
Coda after it won, and I
Promising
disagree
Young
with that. I
Woman-
love Coda.
Promising Young Woman should have won, but I still love Nomadland a lot. But
Judas and the
Coda,
Black
like,
Messiah
Fine.
was my
I
favorite
just
that year
feel
by
like I'm
far.
never watching it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it since, so maybe you have a point there. But
I don't know. I
I
don't
do
like. I
love
feel
it.
like maybe you're
Saltburn's
more
also
into
fire.
dramas. Oh, Saltburn. If only that was nominated. Yeah, no.
But
Look,
yeah,
I just love
Oh, yeah,
a fun,
Saltburn zero
entertaining
noms. Rest
movie.
in
So
peace.
yeah, that was a shame. I would have liked to see it get cinematography at
that would have
least.
been great, or like if it could have
Instead of El
gotten like
Conde.
screenplay or something. I don't know.
I can't believe El Conde is the Lorraine film they nominated for cinematography and not fucking Spencer, which should have won that award. But again,
Oh, Pablo Larraín, yeah.
don't let me go on another tangent.
Larraín.
I do not like El Conde. It has good cinematography, but I don't think it's a good movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if I should. But yeah, Saltburn. Honestly, there were a couple films that I would have put in screenplay over Maestro, though. Like Saltburn, The Iron Claw, even Air. I think it would have been. I do like Maestro more than some of the haters now, but screenplay wouldn't be where I had nominated it personally.
I think it deserved every nomination it got except screenplay. I don't love the movie, but it's really technically well done.
Yeah, I agree with all that. And I really like Bradley Cooper. I thought the movie was pretty good. But not
And
one
Carey
of my
Mulligan
favorites.
would have almost been my winner if Emma Stone didn't exist. I thought she was phenomenal in that movie.
She was good, and I think I cried. So I was moved.
Carrie can always
Alright,
make us
so-
cry, though.
Do we want to
Final
highlight any like
thoughts.
favorite moments from the ceremony? I mean,
I did really love Billy's performance.
Yeah.
I thought
Yes, that was
I
beautiful.
was never the biggest Billy fan until No Time to Die, and then I started to appreciate her more. And this performance, not only did I really enjoy it, but the audience response to it was so wonderful, and like her feeling so moved and overjoyed by the crowd just made that moment so wonderful. And I was like, okay, of course he's gonna win now.
And really
Yeah,
powerful singing from her to sing that well, but that softly and quietly. Like,
she was
sorry,
amazing.
Ashlee.
No, I was just gonna say, like, after I'm Just Ken, it was literally like, how is this song not winning the best song? Like, it was
Oh, I
just
agree.
a
Ken should have won,
sensation.
but
The Oscars are always just, whatever's the most dramatic thing, we have to give it to that. Like, so annoying, but
I
whatever.
thought maybe with Natu Natu last year they were going to start embracing the silly ones more. But
That would
not
be nice.
quite.
I mean, obviously, like,
Well,
this
Man or
one won
Muppet
the
did
Grammy,
win,
but
so I was like, I'm just
like
kind
there
of
are
similar
obviously
to Man or
exceptions to
Muppet.
the rule. I don't know. I just thought like after like I feel like it literally stole the show, and then they award best song right after it, and I was just like, how can you give it to this other song? Like, I don't know. I actually personally I think that like Dua Lipa's song should have been nominated over Billie Eilish's song. Like that's just me.
I
But I mean,
strongly disagree with that.
I
I
mean,
strongly disagree with that. I don't like that
I
song
would have
very
like
much.
what
nominated
It's
all
song did they
fine.
play during the whole like all the intros and everything? They were constantly playing Dance the Night Away. I'm like, they know this is like the fun song. This is the song that everyone wants to hear. They're not playing this depressing song. Like, don't get me wrong, I
But
think the song is
honestly,
really good. If there's two slots, I know like who I'm giving it to. I just like fun things. That's just my thing.
yeah, it sucks that
the one I
Academy
would've-
changed the rules so they can only nominate two from one movie. Because I would have honestly nominated all three and then like two songs.
Yeah,
from
I
one
agree.
I
person.
would
All
not have
three
nominated Dua
deserved it.
Lipa.
What? How can
But
you like
I would have
that?
nominated. I would have switched out the Becky G song, "The Fire Inside," which the performance was fine. I would have switched it out for "Road to Freedom" because I saw Lenny Kravitz's performance of it on Jimmy Kimmel. First of all, it's an excellent song, but the performance that he did on Jimmy Kimmel was so good. I think Jimmy Kimmel or Fallon, it was so good that doing that on a bigger scale at the Oscars, I think would have been a lot more fitting than. I don't really
So
know who
you're
Becky
a-
G is.
So
My
you're a
person-
Wonka denier too.
Yeah, oh my god, right? Like
A what
I
denier?
would have nominated literally
Wonka.
every song from Wonka, so it's very sad.
Oh, Wonka. Yeah.
A World of
Yeah.
Your Own was robbed.
R.I.P. Wonka.
Right?
Scrub.
Like, what? We could
Yeah.
have had Timothy Chalamet dancing on the stage. Like, guys, what are you doing? What is the Academy
Gosling
doing?
and Chalamet would have broken the internet.
That would have
Hey, look,
literally
we're gonna see
been my
plenty
dream.
of Chalamet at next year's Oscars. I
But
think
he won't be singing A World of Your Own, Jacob.
he will not be singing A World of Your Own.
So sad.
Unfortunately, that's only
The
in
next
our
Golden
dreams.
Slice Awards, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know if this is a hot take or if you guys agree, but I actually think that they should ditch like most of the songs. Like, we need to spend 20 to 30 minutes of the runtime of this show doing songs that like no one really cares about? Like, I'm not saying take away I'm Just Ken, but I reckon like just do the popular songs and like bring back like a famous song from the past, like another winner. Like, do you remember the year they had
They did that
Eminem
with
come
Lose
on?
Yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
That was dope.
exactly. Or like if they brought back like the cast of Les Mis or something to like do that for I don't know, like just something like that. This is like an award show. It's a televised show. They I feel like they should be doing that instead of playing shows that no one really cares about. Well, I would rather see if I instead of that, I'd just rather see more clips. Give me clips.
Oh, I'm with you there. We need like
Yeah.
they got to stop messing around with clips. I enjoyed the past winners presenting
Me too.
actors,
Although
but
weird
I
just
choices
love
with
that
the
clips,
they brought
man.
that
matchups,
back so
right?
much.
I loved it, but I
Some
was
I
like,
love
I also
that.
need clips. Like, give me this and clips. Do a
Yeah, I don't.
montage at
Yeah,
the end
that
of
and
that or
clips.
something. Yeah.
Also, I'm just annoyed they didn't give Lance Reddick a full page in the in memoriam. That was a stitch up.
Oh, they didn't? That's annoying.
No, he
I
was
will
in
say,
like the
in rebuttal
giant
to
list of
Ashlee,
names at the end, but
Yeah, that was rough.
that's
Back to
tough.
the
He
actor
deserves better.
thing
But in
though.
rebuttal to Ashley,
Oh, okay. Tell me. Sorry.
I
I
want to
gave my
rebut your
hot
point.
take, and then and then you guys never responded. Yeah, tell me.
No, one sentence, that's all. I did really
Oh,
love the Killers of the Flower Moon performance. I enjoyed that. The Becky G
that
song I
was
could have
good.
cut
I
out.
agree. Yeah.
I
I
like
Yeah.
love
So I
John
guess you
all the
can't
Batiste.
just
The
cut out
song
like
was
performances.
one
fine,
song, but
but
All the performances were good this year. There's usually a couple of dud ones, but I think they were all, even the Fire Inside, which I don't
it's because
give
they
two
nominate
shits
Diane
about.
Warren
It was
every
still a
year.
good performance.
I just don't think we need to dedicate this much of the airtime to these songs, especially songs that like no one gives a shit about. Like the popular ones, yeah. Like, but I don't know. Just give me something a bit more exciting. Like, I said, like bring a surprise performance on. I don't know. I just that's what I want to see. I know it'd be like favoritism or whatever if you cut out some of the songs,
Yeah,
but
I think that's why you couldn't do it. I think it would be
Yeah.
you couldn't do two songs and not the others because it's an active competitive category and they don't want to show favoritism, I guess. Although they talked about Barbie a lot more than other films this year. So
for
they do it
Because
sure.
it was the most
unconsciously.
popular.
Yeah.
And back to the actor thing.
But hey, Barbie.
I was just gonna say that I thought the person that like stole the show with those like actor awards was Nicolas Cage. Like, does he not
Oh,
just have like the
yes.
best charisma? He was so funny. Like, like, can he host? What's going on here? I
My
love
close
it.
Yes,
personal friend, Nicolas
yes.
Cage.
They did an amazing job choosing those people because they brought people who like everyone likes and they're great speakers, like Sam Rockwell,
Oh, Sam
Lupita
Rockwell dropping a
Nyong'o,
Tropic
Christoph
Thunder
Sam Rockwell.
reference.
Waltz, Regina
Yeah,
King, like
that was
so many
great.
people that are very beloved. Even Rita Moreno. She comes back to present every single year, and I love that.
What about Charlize Theron saying like to Annette Bening, "Oh, like what you make me know what a jellyfish feels like or something."
And look,
What
that
was
was
it?
how I felt while watching Naiad,
I
so
know.
I
It was
get
just
it.
like
That
this is
was
the wrong thing to say. Like, why are you saying this?
pretending Naiad was good was probably the best performance of Charlize Theron's career.
I like Naiad.
I really liked
Not
Naya
Oscar worthy, but
personally.
I
I
liked
really
it.
liked Jodie Foster in that. I thought like
Jodie
she's
Foster is
yeah.
great. She's the only good thing about that movie. Sorry, I hate Naiad. It's my bottom five.
I
of the
know
year.
you
hate
hated
so
it.
much.
How could it be in your bottom five? That is
It's so,
ridiculous.
the shot of the shark swimming at the camera is so stupid. The Taj Mahal scene had me laughing out of
Just
my
a
chair. I
good
can't do
sports
it.
movie.
Also,
Like, I don't
Diana
know.
Nyad like
Beautiful.
made up most of her achievements anyway. Like supposedly,
I don't
she's
know
like
about
quite
that.
frowned
Maybe you're
upon by
right,
people
but
in that community. So yeah,
Yeah, the publicity with the real Diana Nyad was made, but we're honoring Annette Bening and Jodie Foster here,
I
not
love
the
Annette
real
Bening. She
Diana
should have been
Nyad. At
nominated
least
for 20th Century Women, not this.
that is true. That is true. That movie should have been nominated for a lot more than just screenplay, but that's a different story.
That movie's so goddamn good. Anyway, yeah. Where to next, Gal?
All right. This has been a great talk. Any closing thoughts? Any other moments or people
Naked
or
John Cena.
disappointments that we want to shout out? How do we not get to that yet?
yeah,
That's a
that
good
was really
point.
fun.
Maybe
I
even
actually thought they
my
were going to
favorite
bring out
moment
Matt Damon.
above I'm Just Ken.
It gave me flashbacks to
the
Peacemaker
dog
episode
pissing on his
1.
star at the end, but
Yeah, I'm glad they snuck that joke in. Yeah, no, John Cena just he was really funny, really good, hot, like love it. I'm here for it.
He's on. I maintain John Cena's like one of our best working comedic actors. He needs
I
to
don't
be
know if
put
I'm
in
there
so
with you. I
many
just saw
more
your review
comedies.
of Ricky's
He's
movie
great
and
in
I was like,
Peacemaker and Blockers, though.
Like Trainwreck, he's so funny. Sisters, he is hilarious. He's like steals the one scene he's in. He's the only funny part of Ricky Stenicki. He's just he goes for it, which more actors need. And he
Who do we
really
think is
went
going
for
to
it at
become an Oscar
Ghostbusters.
nominee first? John Cena, Dave Bautista, or The Rock?
Dave Bautista for
Cool.
sure. Like he's actually taken on really good roles and like The Rock is I'm just gonna be a power dude.
I will say The
The Rock's
Rock
the
is
money
about to
guy.
do an A24 movie with Benny Safdie, so that could be something, but it could be like an Adam Sandler Gems where it like doesn't quite get there, but I'm
I
interested
don't
to
know.
see
I
how
feel like
it
I'd be pretty
goes.
shocked if
I
he
hope
gets
Benny
nominated, but it could
Safdie.
happen.
I hope Benny Safdie becomes an Oscar nominee at some point soon. Seems like he hasn't broken into that convo yet, but
I'm
it should be
very
soon. He's very
sad that the
beloved now.
Safdies aren't working together anymore, though.
Yeah, like
Neither are
what
the
happened with
Coens.
that? No, that's not like the topic of the conversation. I need to research this because I'm like, why aren't they
I
working
think there was
together?
some creative different stuff. I
Damn.
think, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a topic
Well,
for
he
another
still had a
day.
big year with The Curse.
Yeah, which I
And now
haven't
this
seen, and I
film.
need to. Fake Emma Stone fan, apparently.
Fake
But I
Emma
love
Stone
Nathan
fan.
Fielder too, so I'm very excited to watch The Curse.
I haven't seen it yet either. Just watching too many movies, guys. That's my problem.
Yeah, I feel like nothing wrong with that, my friend. I need to get back into it as well. I haven't watched many lately.
All right, final question. Was this year's ceremony or last year's better? Because last year we were also, I feel like, raving about how good of a year it was and that the right film won. What do we think was better?
I think this year was the better show, but like last
Mhm.
year, I would call Everything Everywhere an all-time favorite film of mine. So seeing that sweep was like so joyful
Mhm.
for me in terms of the award winners. Although I didn't like the Jamie Lee Curtis win, that was stupid. But yeah, this year's
Same.
show was one of the best in a while. It ran really smoothly, mostly genuinely funny. It was mostly about the movies and not superfluous external bullshit. So yeah, this year's
Yeah,
show,
I
last year's
agree.
winners.
This year, I would say like both this year, but I feel like last year, I guess what was so and like to me, I really like everything everywhere all at once. But to me, the like exciting thing about it is just the fact that like we never could have imagined that be an Oscar winner. And so to see that actually happen was kind of like history making and mind blowing, kind of like the Parasite year as well. And so I think
Yeah.
like that was so exciting. Whereas like obviously Oppenheimer, like literally the moment I saw it, I was like, this is winning Best Picture. This is the front runner. Like I just knew. And I was like, what else is competing with this? Like and
Which
nothing
usually
like the
bites us in
whole
the ass,
year.
but this year that worked.
I don't know. I
But
just feel like sometimes a movie
This
comes
year that
along that is
worked.
just like a behemoth and like nothing's getting in its way. And, the whole season people are like, oh, well, this movie or that movie. And I'm just like, we're going to look back on this and be like, it was always clearly going to be Oppenheimer. Like it was just its year. It was Nolan's
It's always
time.
been
This movie is
Strauss.
just insane. And yeah, exactly. And so I don't know, yeah, but yeah, last year was very exciting for that reason. But this year, like the Barbie stuff. Like I love Barbie. I'm a girl. Like you don't have to be a girl like Barbie, but it was just very exciting for me. I don't know if we're ever gonna like see something like Barbenheimer again. So it's a
I'm
bit
sure
bittersweet.
studios will try to force it, but it's not gonna
Yeah,
work.
no, it's not gonna work. Like it has to be
I
organic.
think
So
also
we'll see.
I think also it was cool to see like Messi and like the culture, like the different aspects of more dramatic films like that and Oppenheimer and so on, like become actually popularized. Because I remember like in some past years there was like a bit of condescension, like Jimmy Kimmel just saying like, "Oh, Spider-Man should have been nominated," or like being a little more like favoriting the movies that made the more money. And this year there was a little more appreciation for just the story and the performances, but also having fun with Barbie, which is both. And yeah, I really enjoyed this ceremony and loved almost all the winners.
Yeah, Oppenheimer
Me
doing
too.
this can only be good for cinema, and we just gotta hope studios learn the right lessons from it, and give filmmakers free reign to get creative, even if it's a story based on something that exists, you know, you can do that stuff in creative ways. And I think audiences
Dude.
are less willing to give movies a pass for being mediocre now. So hopefully
Exactly.
we're on the rise. Hopefully we're in for a good era. The last few Oscar crops have been very good.
Yep, I'm excited for the next season. So bring it on.